All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the son of Hamashiach, who some say Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. Pastor Dowell and Elder Rufus been going, they back at it. You thought things might have cleared up a little bit, but it's still smoke in the city. This is one of the things too, is why that forgiveness is so vital. Because people can drag you into an emotional roller coaster when the reality is you have two options. You have two options, and we're going to get into explaining that, but we're going to see some of the highlights of the dialogues between Pastor Dowell and Elder Rufus here.
You notice every time it gets to a point where it's supposed to be face to face, his punk ass man out. I told you.
Shalak, y'all. And excuse the language here, y'all. I should have gave y'all warning. Apologies. And again, about the cursing, go to my video. I did the cursing. The video on is cursing a sin, and I show you verses in the text, establishing that. But people get out of pocket. We get it. We all fall short, and when we emotional, we express ourselves certain ways. Even when Paul says, even though I'm rude in speech, look into that word that he's using for rude. It really means like having a lack of knowledge, or being foolish, or not having complete understanding of something. Basically saying that he didn't have the most elegant speech, or he wasn't the brightest of all people. But I might have did that in that particular class. But if you know how to navigate Blue Letter, or you know how to deal with a lexicon, deal with that word there with the rude, and look that word up. Or do comparative text. Comparative text will help you with that also. But yeah, excuse the language, y'all.
Notice every time it gets to a point where it's supposed to be face to face, his punk ass man out. I told y'all what was going to happen last time, didn't I? I'm tired of playing games with you, Dowell. I'm tired of playing games with your old ass. You're an old ass 60-year-old senior citizen, and you talk tough, and I know you chicken shit.
Senior citizen. That's what Pastor Dowell is. Yep. Tell you what, got to make this legit, because it happens a lot out there on the internet. So let's find an octagon.
Man, Pastor Dowell petty, man. Pastor Dowell is petty. And darn well he ain't finna find no octagon. He ain't gonna be putting no octagon on Straightway. And really, there's plenty of land out there. There's plenty of room and opportunity and so forth. Man, what are you talking about, man? But he ain't just gonna let you take those shots at him. And he not sis man. Let me pull that back a little bit, man. Oh, man.
Senior citizen. That's what Pastor Dowell is. Yep. Tell you what, got to make this.
And that hurt him a little bit when you said that on the roof. You knew how to cut him. You knew how to cut him. And the crazy thing is, this Elder Roof say he 59, 60. Me in my 40s and 50s, I don't think I'm going to feel any different. I think, if the knees shot, I can try to preserve it. You know what I'm saying? But 40s, 50s, 60s, I think it's over, But we shouldn't be doing none of this. We should have enough wisdom to know there's some things, man, we may not come back from. Like, if y'all jokers get in that ring at 50 and 60 years old, there's certain bruises, and breaks that ain't gonna never be the same after that, man. But this is also, you can't let people get you to this extent. And all praise to the Most High, that I can't remember. Well, I can. Never mind. But still, all praise to the Most High. But somebody has recent got me to the point where I wanted to put hands on them. I tried to put hands on them, and it was a situation where, you know, somebody stole some of my property and pretty much just lied to me in my face, and my flesh couldn't handle it. I dealt it, but my flesh just couldn't handle it. It got to a point where my flesh just took over and just wanted to darn ragdoll that joker. But I gotta forgive him. I gotta let it go because it was actually family, close family. Anyway,
legit, because it happens a lot out there on the internet. So let's find an octagon, let's find a boxing rink, and let's sign a contract. And let's do it that way. And make sure your family come too. That's what we need to do. Because you notice there's a lot of that stuff.
Then he said, make sure your family come. Make sure your wives front row so, they can see what I do to you. And, this is just a bluff. In my opinion, it's just a bluff from Dowell. This is just like, well, I want to debate. Y'all call the number. I want to set up the debate. This is just like, I even think Pastor Geno Jennings. I think that them letters that he read, I think they manufactured. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. That's how the spirit, I feel like he's reading them letters are manufactured letters. Some of them are real. Some of them are, issues that people may have doctrinally with Geno Jennings that he speaks on. But some of that stuff seems a little manufactured. Some of them debates seems a little manufactured. But that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, y'all.
Going on out here today when there's that so-called beasts and stuff like this. See, I'm not like, I'm sure that most of y'all saw my response to Elder Ricard this past Sabbath. And of course, this video is not about Elder Ricard. But I'm drawing a conclusion here that most people, they're just so fearful about a lot of things. And so what you do.
And, with Elder Ricard, another Israelite community, well, not community, but organization or community that's fairly large after that one West split, because of that false prophecy and of the year 2000 gonna be the end of the world. There was a split happened. He started a organization, and they've been building up. They've built up to a certain point. They've also had a flea doctrine. Maybe y'all willing, we'll get to that. But some of them done came back now. But they had a flea doctrine during Obama times, telling everybody to flee out there to Israel or flee out there to Egypt, thinking they're gonna get away from this thing. But I don't know if they still teach that, being that they done came back to the States now. But he was just trying to give warning, kind of what I was doing, saying, hey, you know what, it's just not smart to have certain things in certain areas, certain places, in that, these people are watching, they can infiltrate your organization, so forth. Just giving warning, and Pastor Dowell, he can take it or he can't. He didn't really take it. He didn't really receive it. But when I watched it, it really wasn't a lot of disrespected, on either end. It's just like, you know what, man, hey, you feel you got to do that. You want to walk in fear. You want to da-da-da-da-da. Hey, man, y'all going to protect us over here. And we going to continue to do things the way we're going to do them. And that's his decision as a leader. That's the shepherd. That's the decision that he made to govern his community. They got to live by that, but you gave warning. That's all you can do.
Is you try to do everything you can to.
And that's love. That ain't hate. That's love.
Submit to that fear as opposed to obeying Yah. So I tell you what, Rufus, let's get an octagon, because I've got a whole lot more. I stand to lose a whole lot more than you do, because you ain't got nothing. So, because you ain't done nothing all your life. So, I mean.
And Elder Rufus, he just poking at you, man. He just poking at you, digging you, trying to get a response. He gonna continue to do that long as you out here doing these videos and being online. He gonna continue to poke at you till you disappear. You gonna have to let it go all the way. Let it go, or you gonna have to ask him for forgiveness. But somebody gonna have to forgive.
That's just the way it is. So in order to protect myself, let's get an octagon, and let's get let's sign a contract or a boxing ring. Makes no difference to me. And let's get after it. Let's go 3 rounds, 5 rounds, as far as I'm concerned. 5 3-minute rounds. Let's get it.
He said, "Let's get it."
I just watched this video that Dowell put out. First and foremost, I will accept your challenge. Let's put that out there now. Secondly, I've heard from him that you've spoken to Brother Gideon, correct?
I forget my brother now. I think it started with a B. My brother tired, man. My brother tired of y'all, man. My brother is tired of y'all. With the back and forth, man. He just want it over, man.
Right. Brother Gideon has said that him and Dowell want to sit down with me and Elder Brent so we can work out some kind of peace agreement because everybody's tired of the back and forth.
And that's the thing about, the peace agreement, the back and forth. I'm going to tell you, that's what I'm telling you. You got 2 options, Elder Rufus. Well, you got 3. You can let it go and never respond to Dowell again, even though he poking at you. Never respond to him poking at you. Or you can go out there and get in that boxing ring and try to embarrass him, but you're not going to convince anybody of anything. Well, you got a few options, and you got these other options that we'll talk about at the end of this that you commented on. And then another option, the third option, you get all your wives, and y'all each make a video begging Pastor Dowell for forgiveness. Get on your knees and beg to be a part of Straightway again. Make the videos. Each one of y'all make a video, and your kids make a video about how great Pastor Dowell is. How much a better man he is than you. And just totally operate in total humility and be willing to take the humiliation. So that you can be accepted, so that you can be an example to the rest of the flock of what you're not gonna do, what you're not supposed to do here at Straightway. And if you do something that you get extended, this is what you're gonna have to do to come back. But it's gonna take you receiving complete humiliation for there to be some sort of peace treaty. And it may be a peace treaty whether we just stop talking about each other. But like I say, I Dowell a little petty, man. Pastor Dowell a little petty. He gonna take certain jabs because he wants to control you. And it shows that he still controls you. That's the thing about forgiveness, man. If you don't, then these people can still control you, still can drive your emotions, still can name call you and say certain things to get you emotionally riled up. Still could rile up your house, still could cause you to fall into depression and mental anxiety. Still can play these mind games with you. Still can have that emotional charge on you every time you watch his videos. You have this feeling, whether it's hatred or whether it's something that you missed and so forth. And so you have to really sit down and really decide what you really want to do. What is it that you really want? That you're still willing to sit at the table with the brother, with Pastor Dowell. Do you really want reconciliation? Do you really want you want things to go back to where they were Um, you made some statements about seeing some things. You gonna have to come back on all of those statements. You saying the spirit showed you some things about them. You gonna have to pull away from all of that. You gonna have to what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Basically take back all of those words that you said about Pastor Dowell, and you're gonna have to apologize sincerely to him. And it may still, you know him better than I do, but he may be so petty that he just got you to do that and still don't mess with you. But you'll have to take that risk. That's the only way. If that's what you truly want, you truly desire.
What I'm tired of mostly is you saints being lied to.
And I don't know what what does that mean? What do you gain from that? What is it going to profit you? You don't have to answer. That's really just for you to think about. What does it profit you? If the saints hear it, what do you think is going to really happen? You think you're going to convince the saints that Pastor Dowell isn't who they think he is? Pastor Dowell is whoever he say. Pastor Dowell is to the saints what he claims he is to the saints. He and you are to them whatever Pastor Dowell says he is. You are to him. That's their shepherd, man. They gonna listen to him. They have a cult-like following attached to him. It's not. It's cognitive dishonest. It's they have to see psychiatrists to get that off of them. They have to be pulled away from that a while before that rubs off of them. For those scales to be removed, it almost gonna take a miraculous event or something catastrophic has to happen there.
Now, I'll say for the record, I really got no desire to knuckle drag this dude. I don't. But I will, if I have to. So you bring your documents down. Bring them to the meeting. I'm willing to meet with you and Brother Gideon anytime, anywhere. Because, again, I got nothing. I got nothing to lose. I've never had nothing any day in my life. You can keep with the insults. Dowell. Bring the documents. But before we meet, because you don't get to dictate the terms, you think you do. You not my God, though. You not my king. So you don't dictate the terms. My desire is for the saints to get free.
What does that mean? You can answer that one for us if you like. What do you mean you want the saints to get free? Does that mean are you trying to be Moses? Are you trying to take on like a type of Moses foreshadow, and you're trying to go talk to the Pharaoh to let the people go? And with that, do you have the situation? Do you have the calling? Do you have the instructions on where they should go after they leave there? In the facility set up to, like I said, it's some mental things going on there too that have to be washed off of them. Do you have are you willing to deal with that, or have the capacity or the facility to facilitate a move like that? Or is it a wilderness? Are you taking them into a wilderness? And even with that, we see the issues of a wilderness when things aren't as good or aren't as they were in Egypt. They start thinking about them flesh pots. They start thinking about them what Dowell be doing out, Pastor Dowell doing out there, them chicken harvests, them harvesting them big old chickens, and they start thinking about the facility and how, the grass and not having to work and, the fellowship. They may go back. But I'm not saying that's what you're trying to do. I'm just saying if you are trying to do that, you just gotta, you gotta weigh out. You gotta count the costs.
It's not to knuckle drag you all across Tennessee.
Or is it just to show Dowell's true colors? And again, I don't think you can show it, but I don't think it's gonna. And that's just my opinion. I think he has so much control, and of that place and those members that, man, it don't matter what you show. It don't matter what hit these airways, and no matter how many people like myself and Ringo and all these other folks talk about it, they gonna still love them some Pastor Dowell. Just like the New Wabians still love what's that brother name? Dr. Malachi Z. York. No matter what them documents say, no matter what he confessed to, they still, just like that foolishness with Brother Polite. If y'all know about that brother and that pedophilia, he's a student of Malachi Z. York. He's a son of Malachi Z. York. And he goes and deals with the pedophilia also, but it's still gonna be people that's waiting for that pedophile to get out of jail. It's still people waiting to love him. It's still people listening to Nature Boy, even though he's serving life in prison, even though he had all these confessions of what these people are doing. When you have a cult like following, no matter what, it's still people probably, hating that they didn't get that Jim Jones juice. And may still have his picture up. It don't matter what you say, in my opinion.
My desire is the saints get free. So my terms to meet with you, which I will do anytime, release the tapes, Dow. Release the tapes. I want the saints to hear the conversations I had. Those 3 tapes you got. You got to hear those tapes, right?
Yes.
Y'all got them tapes over there like Diddy House. He got cameras everywhere. Everybody getting filmed. Everybody being recorded. Release the tapes.
You got them.
Y'all hit in the comments, release the tapes. That was it for that, y'all. I pray this thing was edifying, man. Y'all hit that like, subscribe button, notification bell. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom, Israel.